Right guys, I'm back. Next, I hated that. I'm going to game Ink is Not One. We continue from 2v2 and go for like existing. This should be a quicker segment, I'm hoping.
Problem?
At 7 p.m. It's today's highlights from the Sports Board Regionals.
No, it won't be all right, Kath. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound like me?
I mean it, Kath.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to both.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny?
I'm sorry, Kath, you're going to have to leave.
Not letting it go to your head.
She nearly blinded me.
10 seconds,
That's
everybody.
all we've got of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
Going in
high and mighty
5,
and do your job.
4,
You're
3.
Jeremy, Megan, and all the team at the National Night.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawn. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public. But how should we react?
So how do you feel about the sanctions?
I actually think that with Advance in charge we'll be fine. Of course the rest of the world will want us to fail, or it'll be their billionaires next. But I trust Julia and Peter.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff. Thanks, Patrick.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions. And we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them.
What was it bibbing before going singing as I was saying swimming the entire time?
Into the heart of the international community, by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
I was wondering if you could spend a moment to give us your government.
Honestly, I think they're doing a great job. I know the assets and world checks have made the difference for us with the cost of the little one. And people seem, happier in the main. I always said things would get better with a woman in charge.
A Flard Day's night. Following the release of the Flardmaster 5000, production of Flards are at an all-time high, requiring the new manufacturing facility in Grizzleford to move to 24-hour-a-day production.
With people finding more and more uses for the ever-versatile Flard, the team at Brewington Cyst certainly have their hands full keeping up with demand.
So, is there anything better than a handful of Flards? We asked Patrick to find out. Patrick?
What's your opinion of Flards?
I'd get them banned, mates. Flards killed 3 members of my family and more than one pet. We should have stuck with Werbs. It was safer then.
The delicate sound of thunder A frightening stop for commuters this morning, who were confronted by a somewhat sinister sight as they left their trains.
Many travellers reported feeling intimidated by the silent figures who stood motionless outside every major station in the capital. Radical extremist group Disrupt, who organised the show of strength, refused to comment on the meaning of the strange protest.
Ought to apologise to this presenter for making him drop his morning beetle.
But how do we feel about these somewhat radical extremists and their upsetting methods? Robin found out.
Do you have any feelings about Disrupt?
It's all a bit noisy for me, really. As Mother always said, leave the rebelling to the rebels, Malcolm.
Feast or famine. Resourceful doctors David Wong and Ingrid Morgansford today announced their first successful harvest in Dante's taint. Although they can currently only grow a few fungal strains, the scientists seem to be staying positive, as the following picture shows.
The undauntable scientists chose to try and survive in the cave system while the complex rescue operation marches forward up here on dry land.
Let's hope they like stroganoff.
But with Advance planning to spend an eye-watering amount of public money on the rescue craft, we asked Patrick Bannon to find out what we should all be thinking about the accelerating costs.
Yeah, don't worry, they're going to cut all this, aren't they? It's disgusting. Don't worry, they're going to cut all this, aren't they? It's disgusting. Oh, sweat. Have you thought about quitting smoking?
Right. No, I'm fine now. Right.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
The trapped scientists.
Oh, yeah, right.
The trapped scientists. Brilliant. Brilliant.
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, vitally, pubs and banks.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
Oh, yeah, fantastic. I'm applying today. I mean, why wouldn't you? What are these protesters doing? They don't want us to know who their names are. Besides, have you seen the savings you can get? I'm getting one for the little one as well.
Oh, how adorable.
Yeah. Going to be a proper little team member, aren't you? Yes. He smiled. He smiled.
And finally tonight, Hospital Pass. New images reach us today of brave Johnny Hansfield and his doting partner Tiffany Lamour in their ongoing struggle against his horrific mystery illness.
Tiffany was forced to cancel her latest show, These Hotel Sheets and What I Did on Them, in order to devote more time to selflessly looking after the much-loved multimillionaire.
I'm sure the art world will recover.
With some critics questioning her motives, what should your opinion be of the controversial artist for at least appearing to stand by her man?
Disgusting.
Wise words there.
Later tonight,
One word, nice.
it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Because I'm broadcasting, I can't figure out what I was saying.
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For Advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Kyrgyzstan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
Great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard of Labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay. Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about advances to fine stance?
Advances like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland then. We have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent.
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames.
Minister?
It's just Björk.
Minister? Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the prize.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole like boat thing there, but it's actually the festival of Fureland here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So like we all had to look our grandparents clean out how the boat was happening, and that's like a really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like sissy man. You had this expression, sissy man. It's like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah.
Oh,
Because
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure.
Stop it, you can execute yourself.
Yes. Welcome me. How's the legs?
Pretty good. Yeah. How's your legs?
Right. Well, we didn't work out hard, did we?
Oh, really?
Did we?
No. Was on the treadmill.
Yeah, wasn't it? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. But unless you can judge it, you can do your own pace.
Do your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
set
that.
your own session.
Set your own session. That's what I do.
Increment 10, you've got to try back to next week.
Oh, yes. That's
Increment 10 is quite interesting one, should we say?
Must have worked out. Careful what you do after that and all that.
Ah, yeah.
Depends what kind of session you want to do, innit?
Yes, please.
swimming's cancelled.
Is it?
Yeah, that's cancelled. Well,
I don't even know the game name.
what's the game name, is it? Yes. Game name. What's the game name?
Been grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis, who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dodge that he's got squirreled away. Because that's...
What was?
That's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. We'll shut the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. You can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have like serious animal welfare legislation. And like my friend Helge, she got arrested for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her field thing. I mean, English jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a rat cracker too. What became of her?
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
Human interest, Jeremy, the real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching Jam, give us a call. Yeah, let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Christ, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Svenland, we don't really go into all that restrictive monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and
possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Beard?
Well, from here, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated devices concepts like money. In Finland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like a really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Fortefeuille.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant mutant hairy bear. And really, he just standing in field
holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We'll be back
after these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Correction.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
Furniture that looks like garden furniture. Come on down.
Go, go, go.
is regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
We got duck ponds, we got fire pits, we got a whole mess of crazy frogs with water coming out of their mouths. This is a crazy deal from a crazy...
Royalty.
What?
Should I just, like, curtsy?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
What?
Meghan?
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
So he put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5.
I'm going to have to pause it in a sec. Can't see me, so there's no point.
4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus!
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on the show, the news. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just, it's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Hold on, guys.
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man, very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know? Why do I have to pay for it, you know?
People have been rehoused on properties seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah, I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children, Mr. Jesus.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Well, it's more of like... Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. Stop trying to tie me in knots. I let the music speak for itself. I let the music and the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Lovely Tears.
Oh no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah, you love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus.
First,
It's Jesus.
you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why is Julius from massive fucking mansions? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you one of us. Get every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise, of the press of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's fit as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time is gonna come with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snubbed ones, the push and the shoved ones, the folks who feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty. The ones with aspiration, who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business that had dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the brains serve the rest of the ways. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to fall across with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets. Set a fire in the building, let him feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, no squilling bet betters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you know we the fucking team. And advances, little dances aren't as harmless as it seems. Cause they're stale and corrupt, then you're angry and corrupt. Then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I might not agree with you, but... I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your notes.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. We will never censor. Back to you, ideas.
A bit of dangerous language there. Sorry about that. A bit of dangerous. Well, thank you. Little Jeremy Donson. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Just a reminder, fixing that old VCR. Having a new tape, fast ad break.
This territory is changing fast, and that makes other countries uncomfortable. But that won't stop us. And we intend to make sure that in these challenging times, every citizen gets their fair share of the abundant, nutritious food we grow right here in the territory. Your entitlements book will be coming to you by post in the next few days, and it will let you claim enough food for the week every week.
let's see how this last one goes, this last segment.
Distribution centres. Everyone will get their fair share, and no one will be left behind. So you can carry on coming together to enjoy life.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Oh, it's Jeff again, isn't it?
Jeremy, you remember Mr. Algebra?
Vividly.
Jeff
Mr.
Algebra,
Harris,
yes.
And this is Ms. Raiden.
Right.
Philippa, please.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Absolute demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
So yeah, camera 1 opening, which is what I'm on.
5,
4, 3. I'm done.
And no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philip Harris, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
So lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life. It's about me.
And where did the idea come from?
So, picture this. Their legs are akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hole. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, sweet. But anyway, so, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby. He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference? How would you like to really make a difference?
What did you say?
Yeah, right,
What did you say?
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here? God's name are you doing here?
After the success of my debut work, I knew that I had a career in theatre. I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said I've been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off. I do all my best work with my trousers off.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
Actually, we actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life, as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But
Dad, an embarrassment.
You promised you'd come to my graduation. You promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the house! Demon! Back to the house!
Philippa, what's it been like? Co-starring with Tommy Harris.
I've always dreamed of treading the boards of medium-scale regional theatres, and for once this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert, or godforsaken soap opera, or God forbid, pantomime. But you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff,
go
the viewers
there.
at home will be dying to know. The viewers at home exactly what is it that you bring to the show? What is it that you bring to the show?
I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences underground sports scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports scene.
You'll never take the sacred path!
Am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, is actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without advances support, we'd have had to put the finale.
Which frankly would have been a travesty.
God, Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ!
You do this every night. You do this every night.
It's a metaphor, absolutely.
For what?
It's a metaphor.
For what?
Yeah.
And the public are footing the bill. And the public are footing the bill.
They are. Between the cost of my tour and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Yes. Thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt, you'll have taken our jobs.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Dawes.
And I'm Megan Wolf. And from all of us here.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Oh.
Mr. Bozeman, your boss. Now that we have this newfangled tannoy system up and running, I wanted to take the opportunity to remind you all that we value productivity and attention to detail above all other concerns. Also, that the salami sandwich in the fridge is mine and mine alone. Bozeman out.
I'm sweating like Peter Clement in an off-licence here.
Okay, we're working on it.
What, you've got someone to hose down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Before I get to that, I'm going to end this here for guys. Thank you for